NFTs are dying. And no, I'm not exaggerating. It's literally a sinking ship at this point. It might as well be the Titanic. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's with all the gloom and doom? It's just a bear market. Things will recover eventually. Well, I'm here to tell you that no, they will not. What? If you're actually serious about NFTs and the technology behind them, you need to watch this video and come to your own conclusion. Now, I'm going to be talking about why I think NFTs are a sinking ship, and most importantly, what you can do to stay afloat. It wasn't too long ago that the NFT community was surrounded by WAGMIs and Euphoria, but it turns out that was short-lived, as it turns out that people making their yearly salaries in mere few seconds off of some JPEGs isn't sustainable. Think about it. There has never been one time where you could literally 10x your investment in just a matter of seconds. Never. It sounds like something you'd hear from a Nigerian prince. Get out of here, man! But this time, it was actually the real deal, and as more and more people flocked to this digital age of a gold rush, and for good reason. I mean, honestly, if you looked around, it wasn't that hard to find the gold that you were looking for. But unfortunately, it was a kingdom that was built on sand because, surprise, surprise, 10xing your investment in a matter of seconds is unsustainable for some reason. And the thing is, it wasn't all great, but we were too euphoric to see it. These projects were raising millions upon millions of dollars before actually producing anything. Pixelmon, sorry. And that leads me to the first reason that I think NFTs are set to disappear. The first reason being funding before production. Never, ever in the history, no matter what forever, of startups have we seen someone get funding before actually having some sort of minimum viable product. A lot of these projects were launching without any kind of minimum viable product, just a roadmap full of outlandish promises, promising riches, metaverse, whatever, whatnot, the best game in the world, promising things that they couldn't actually produce, all just to raise the funding. Now that's like saying you have the cure to some deadly ailment, and when people come to fund you, you say, well, I don't have it just yet, but I will once you give me the money. What? How does that sound? Like, tell me how that sounds. That doesn't make any sense. Like, you have to have some kind of research to back it up. You have to have some kind of experience. You have to have some kind of minimum viable product to back up your funding, or else it's just, there's no point in getting funding in the first place if you haven't made anything yet. And very few projects actually built anything before releasing. And no, a Discord server and a few rounds of Rumble doesn't count as building. What? So like I said, there was no minimum viable product. So what was going on? This leads me into my second point, which is overpromising and under-delivering. Now, this is something we'd see prominently in the bull market, and we still see this now, actually. Now, some projects make some absolutely outlandish and insane claims about what they're actually going to be making. Let's take a gaming project, for example. Now, they promise to make some AAA crazy game of the century, and they'd raise millions upon millions, sometimes tens of millions of dollars in funding. And once they got that funding, guess what? You had to wait for any product to actually be made. And do you know what happened when that product was made? Well, let me tell you that 99% of NFT games, quote unquote AAA games, look like they came straight out of Roblox creator. And then it's covered up with something like, oh, this is just a super early beta. Like, okay, super early beta, got it. So we just gotta wait 5 more years for the game to be done. And do you know why? This leads me into point 3, which is lack of professionalism and lack of experience. It's great to want to build something big. In fact, I honestly encourage it. But the fact is that most projects are just built by anonymous high schoolers that are still living with their parents. Oh my God! We'll see a project come up that's promising, you know, Lamborghinis and some penthouse in Dubai, but little do the investors know that the founder is a 16-year-old named Aiden who lives in Ohio. Again, it's great to have big dreams and big aspirations and want to create something big, but with no previous experience in the field of real estate or with anything like that, how do you expect these people to execute on these plans? If someone comes in to create a real estate project and they have no background in real estate and they receive all of their funding before having done anything, do you know what happens? They either A, rug because they know well that they can't create it, or B, slow rug because they slowly find out that they can't create it. Now, this mainly stems from 2 reasons, either being greed or just a complete lack of experience, both of which are completely irresponsible. Now, this leads me to my last point, low standards. And do you know why they were able to get away with all of this? Because of the notoriously low standards of the NFT community. Why would you strive for excellence when much less than adequate is thriving, to be honest? Why would you work so hard to create a perfect product when you could create something in Roblox and make millions of dollars all the same? So as you can see, there wasn't exactly much motivation to create value for the consumers. And again, why would you create something amazing when that's not actually what the community is buying into? Now, this has led to a stifling lack of innovation. Why innovate when it's not what's being bought? Now it's just a space of copycat derivatives and overhyped circle jerks at this point. Now, even crazier is the same thing continues to happen today as the space continues to cannibalize itself, and it's just going to continue. And the worst part is 95% of people in the NFT space don't even know it's coming. Now, here's what the cycle looks like. One hyped NFT project launches, and then in an effort to create utility for their holders, they open a whitelist marketplace, which gets them whitelist to more hyped projects that launch, and in an effort to create utility, they open a whitelist marketplace. And then that gets you more whitelist spots to more hype projects, and the cycle continues and continues and continues, with just whitelist being handed out to every single project that exists, pretty much. Now, I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret, and some of you might not like to hear this, but building a Discord server isn't building anything. Sorry to say it.
Nope.
So you have to ask yourself the question, do you want to go down with the sinking ship, or do you want to stay here and actually innovate? If you said you wanted to innovate, then I've got good news for you. Because while I think the space is going to slowly fade away, at least the space for what it is, I am still bullish on NFT technology and its use cases in real world applications. As an agency, I'm personally moving away from these degen NFT projects and more into Web2 businesses and seeing where I can implement the technology into the current systems to reduce overhead and optimize their operations, as well as improve customer experience and so on. Now, there are mainly three types of people that I work with, those being artists, content/course creators, and entrepreneurs. I basically help them launch their own projects, reduce overhead, drastically improving operations and customer experience. No rugs, no empty promises.
I got you, homie.
Now, take Jen's Croquet Club, for example. By properly executing this, Iman Gadzhi raised $4.5 million in one day. And since then, he's generated another $5.5 million in just the short months following. And do you know how he did this? By providing actual value. And keep in mind, this was during the bear market. And I know what some of my native NFTers are thinking.
Well, surely the floor price went down after mint.
And here's the thing. They had a $4,500 mint. And they've maintained a 9 to 10 ETH floor price throughout the entirety of this bear market. We've seen projects like Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Doodles, Cool Cats all recede during this bear market, but Jen's Croquet Club hasn't moved an inch. So with that being said, you need to start learning more about the technology and where you can implement it into current systems to provide value for customers, rather than just giving out whitelist spots and collab managing for these degen projects. Now, the most important part of this is going to be how you can onboard Web2 customers into Web3 easily, making the process for them seamless. I mean, Reddit executed this phenomenally. Reddit is a platform that's notorious for hating NFTs, and 50% of people who bought their NFT didn't even know they were buying the NFT.
You serious?
And you know what happened afterwards? They're like, this isn't so bad. This NFT thing isn't so bad, because they found out that they could resell them for 10x the value they bought them for.
Oh my God.
That's pretty hard to dislike. So if you're interested in how you can do this, me and my boy Malcolm actually just put together a 40-page free PDF on how you can start your agency, the link of which I will leave down in the description below. More importantly, if you're a 7 to 8 figure entrepreneur, artist, or course creator, and you're looking to implement NFTs into your own business and start your own project, be sure to DM me on Twitter, ecomzoro, and we'll hop on a 15-minute discovery call to see if you're a good fit. Don't waste any time on this though, because as your competitors slowly test around and figure this out, I'm more than confident that it will cost you millions of dollars in revenue. So time is of the essence. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more content from me, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss another upload. And I will see you guys later.